Jan is here today to show us how to make cupcakes and frosting. She's a really fabulous baker. So, how did you come up with this recipe?
I have children, and when they were young we moved to a plant-based diet. So I did some research so they would have snacks and treats to take to school and to parties and still be like the other kids but have their own. I always made a little extra so they could share too.
And what ingredients do we need to make cupcakes?
I use organic ingredients whenever possible, and today we're using 1 cup of white unbleached flour, 2/3 of a cup of whole white winter wheat flour, or any whole wheat flour will work, 3/4 cup of raw sugar or sucanat, natural cane sugar will work, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and I use the non-alkaline, it's healthier for you, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 to 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of water, 1/3 cup of oil, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, apple cider vinegar is what I use, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have a little side note about the oil. I use expeller pressed canola oil, and if you're going to use another kind of oil like safflower or sunflower, the healthier versions are hyoleic safflower or sunflower oil. So if you can have those available, those are the best kinds to use.
And what equipment do we need?
We're going to start with a mixing bowl and approximately medium to large. And you need measuring spoons, tablespoons, teaspoons, and a rubber spatula to clean the bowl out at the end, tablespoon to dip into the muffin tin, and a wire whisk to mix everything up. And you'll need your muffin pan. And these are muffin cup liners. They make your muffins or your cupcakes come with a nice round top on them. And there are a couple of brands that are environmentally friendly. So try to look for those if you can, if you have them available. Any muffin liner will work. These don't have any toxins or anything, and they're biodegradable. So that's a good choice if you have the option.
How many cupcakes will we get from this recipe?
We'll get a dozen cupcakes from this recipe, or 1 8 or 1 9-inch round cake, or 1 8 or 9-inch square cake. And if you want to make a 9 by 13 or have a couple of dozen cupcakes or make a layer cake of 8 or 9 inches round or square, you'll need to double this recipe. For this recipe, we're going to set the oven to 350 degrees. So you want to put your oven on bake and then turn to 350.
Well, what do we do first?
Well, first there's a rule that my mother taught me about cooking, and that is you always read through your entire recipe first, your ingredients and instructions, just to make sure there's no little hidden tricks in there you need to know ahead of time. We want to start by mixing all the dry ingredients. Now add the liquid ingredients.
Now that the batter's ready, how much do we put in each cup?
You want to fill the cups approximately 2/3 full, so that'll be about, depending on the size of your cups, about 2 tablespoons worth of batter.
Wow, these smell really good already. How long do we bake them?
Approximately 20 to 25 minutes. The good thing about this recipe is since there's no eggs in the batter, you can lick the bowl and the spoon when you're finished.
While the cupcakes are baking, we're going to make the frosting. What kind of frosting are we making?
We're making a fudge frosting today. It's a cooked frosting that's a little healthier than a powdered sugar version.
What ingredients do we need?
We need 1 cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of raw sugar or raw sugar cane juice or sucanat, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/4 cup of non-alkaline cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of Earth Balance buttery stick margarine, and the tub will also work in this recipe, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla powder. The utensils we need to make this recipe is a wire whisk and a saucepan, approximately 1.5 to 2 quarts.
So now what?
We start by putting the dry ingredients in the pot and mixing them together, and then you pour in the water. After your water is whisked into your dry ingredients and they're blended well, you want to put the pan on the stove on medium heat and whisk constantly until it's thickened. After your frosting has thickened, then you add the vanilla and the earth balance and whisk until it's well blended. When your timer goes off after 20 minutes of baking, you want to pull them out real gently and do a little finger tap test on top. If they spring back, then they're done. So this only took 20 minutes. If they're not quite done and they kind of sink in, you want to leave them in for another 4 to 5. When your cupcakes are finished cooking, you want to take them out of the pan and so they'll cool. Put them on a wire rack very gently and cool them completely before you frost them. After your cupcakes are put on the wire rack to cool, you want to use either a paper towel, recycled of course, or a clean lint-free dish towel and put over the top so that they'll not get dust on them and it will keep the tops from drying out as much.
Looks like it's time to frost cupcakes. What are we doing?
After the fudge frosting is cool, you want to whip it up. The best way to fill your pastry bag is to kind of roll your sleeve down a little bit so you can get it all down inside. Spoon the frosting into the bag.
And these are fabulous. I can't wait to taste one. Now, how long do they last?
They will last about a week out of the fridge and then stored in an airtight container, or 3 minutes if you have a hungry husband and kids around.
Aha!
Switch to a plant-based diet. Do it for the animals, your health, and the planet.